Well, to begin with, can you tell us a little bit about how you use AcuGraph in your practice?
Absolutely. I've been using AcuGraph now. How long have you guys been making this thing? I had one of the first ones. Couldn't tell you exactly how long.
That would have been about 2003, so probably 7 years.
7 years ago. And I believe AcuGraph has improved my practice and enhanced it substantially in many ways. I think it's the best tool I've ever seen to educate the patient about acupuncture. And I love it. I love the ease of this system. I love the amount of information that I can collect quickly. And the patient education, as I said, is probably the most important thing to me, because at the end of the day, I think it's critical that we teach the patient what we're doing, why it works, and how they can benefit from it.
So can you tell me a little bit about how you use AcuGraph in your practice?
Yes, I'm using AcuGraph on every single patient, especially the one that are coming first time to visit me in my practice. I am so excited about AcuGraph 4. I just text my husband that in my career years I never been this much excited, even though when I got my PhD, because this is the revolution which Oriental medicine and acupuncture is needed.
So tell me a little bit about how you use AcuGraph in your practice.
Well, I use AcuGraph with every patient that comes in, on the first visit and every follow-up visit as well. And I find it's a really wonderful introduction to Chinese medicine and acupuncture, because people develop a much better understanding of the meridians, what they mean, and what it means to them personally, because they can really connect with the tangible information that the AcuGraph provides in the testing. So I find that it really enhances patient involvement in their care, as well as the results as well, because it's something that there's no guesswork in it. It tells you really like it is in the patient's energetic system.
How long have you been using AcuGraph in your practice?
2003 or 4, I guess 4.
So that'd put it about 6 years, give or take, right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how's AcuGraph changed the way that you practice?
Simplified it. Before that I was using some equipment I got in Germany from Vol, and yeah, I can do 2 visits in the time it used to take me to do 1.
That's not bad. Would you say it's made your practice more prosperous then, more efficient?
Yeah, it has. I think probably the biggest advantage is patient education. When they can see it on the screen and you explain to them what it is, it's a lot easier for them to accept it, understand what you're going to do.
You've talked about using AcuGraph in your practice. How do your patients feel about the graphs? How does it affect them?
They love it. 30% of my patients are doctors.
Okay.
MDs, I have neurosurgeon, I have ophthalmologist, I have orthoped, I have gynecologist, any kind range. And the funny thing is that they don't believe in it. When they walk in before anything to my practice, they say, oh, let's do the hocus pocus. But as soon as now I have a tool to prove it to them, it's not hocus pocus. Then when I ask them, okay, let's do AcuGraph and I explain it to them, then we do it, then visually they see it. Then they're not gonna say hocus pocus, and they get so fascinated about it. And then it generate me more patient and money, but more important than anything else is the fact behind it that they see it's not hocus pocus, it's a science.
Wonderful. Would you say it's changed your practice in any way, and if so, how?
I would definitely say it's changed my practice. Patients are more involved in their care and also in their level of understanding of what's going on in their system and why. I would also say that it has increased my patient referrals, because when somebody can show their friend or their family their graph and the information that goes with it, they then want to know, well, what would mine look like, and what can I do about my health and what may show up. So I think it really enhances the just the patient referral network. People get excited and they want to share what they've learned about themselves and their treatment and spread the word.
You use it for patient education. How do the patients feel about receiving the graph and the report and the information?
Patients love it. I think patients love anything that gives them something unique to them. I think we're all individually want that. And so when we share this information with the patient, they get excited because it's unique to them. And it brings up a report that is unique to them. And that's really what we all want. We're all unique individuals. We all want to be treated that way as a unique individual. And I think the AcuGraph gives us probably the best way of doing that I know of in an easy format that's duplicatable.
So how do your patients receive the graph? Do they seem to enjoy and understand it?
Well, the first visit is usually longer because we're explaining the things that it means. But subsequent visits, a lot of them say, well, I'd like a copy of that to take home. And that's a great card to hand out in the community. Other people come in, I saw so-and-so's graph, I want to see what mine looks like.
Okay, so it's bringing some referrals too.
Right.
If you were speaking to someone who was considering using AcuGraph, what would you say to them as an honest assessment?
As a practitioner or as a patient?
As a practitioner.
As a
If you were talking to another practitioner.
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't practice without it anymore because it's just such a valuable tool that really takes some of the mystery out of what is going on with the patient. I mean, we can still rely on all our skills from TCM or whatever style of acupuncture we're trained in, but having something this with such clarity really changes everything. So I would never practice without my AcuGraph again.
Wow.
So thank you very much.
So it's amazing. It's affecting my practice significantly, increasing the number of my patients. But it's not just about money and marketing. It's about educating patients and believing something and being happy that there are good people that putting their time and their mind and their heart to work for it and prove it to the whole world that there is a fact behind it. And I really, bottom of my heart, I'm sure among my patients too, I just want to thank you and your whole crew that you made it possible.
And then would you say that AcuGraph has changed the way that you practice, and if so, how?
Well, certainly as I look back over my career, just the fact that we've now got everything computerized has sped up the practice. Even if you were doing, like the Duraco units, for example, and hand plotting everything, the time involved is probably cut to a third or a fourth, so you can see more people and help more people in the same day, which I appreciate. I also feel like it's made me a much better practitioner because it helps me recognize and certainly remember things that occasionally you just get busy and maybe you're thinking of another problem the patient has, but you may not notice for example, a belt block. You may catch it 9 out of 10 times or 99 out of 100, but there might be that one patient you just didn't even see it because you were thinking of something else. AcuGraph will bring it up and help me remember. I use that as an example, but there's lots of things where it will just make you a better practitioner over and over and over again, day in and day out.